just to give you a little bit of information about me for those who don't already know, um, in terms of education, I've been involved in marketing literally since I was 18, well, 16, 17, 18 years old. So in the UK, we do this, or we used to do these things called A levels. Yeah, the A levels are still about. What am I talking about? Yeah, we do these things called A levels between 16 and 18. And at that point, I realized I wanted to be in marketing because I was studying business studies, and I remembered this example of, I think, Carlos Raffo, I think the book. Anyway, yeah, it was a business studies book, a real thick one, and we were studying business studies, and there was an example of a perfume bottle, and it was showing how how it's split up into little bits. So they were saying this much goes to the company, this much is spent on ingredients. So basically, they use the bottle of perfume to show um, basically the cost of a perfume bottle. Where does the money go? And I saw this massive bit called 80, like this 80% of the money going to this one area, and that area was marketing. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, this looks like a huge area that you can actually, I suppose, make an impact on people and influence the decision making and kind of, it's like I say, we're dealing with real people. And if you can understand what people want and you can provide the solution to that. And then when I say solution, I don't mean like someone's got a leak and they need a plumber. I mean, even someone who wants to buy a t-shirt to look good. So if we can understand the customer well enough and make sure that what we're providing is of value to them, well, that's great, isn't it? So as I mentioned, I've studied at college, at university level. I've even done marketing in at postgraduate level as well. So, like I say, I've been involved in marketing a hell of a long time, and I've been studying it since since I was at college and university. I also have what we call here in the UK chartered status. So the organisation, which I think has Royal Assent or something, I think Royal Assent's the right word. It's called the Chartered Institute of Marketing, and anyone they seem and I suppose anyone they deem as being someone who has enough experience and knowledge about the industry and keeps up. I mean, every year you have to also keep up your learnings, what we call CPD, continued professional development. As long as you keep that up, you're rewarded with this status of chartered marketer. And as a result, you get to share what you see on screen here, which is the chartered marketer's logo. So as a result of being a chartered marketer, I can say I'm chartered and I'm on the register in the UK of the Chartered Institute of Marketing. If you typed in my name, I would appear as a chartered marketer. So yeah, I'm a bit sad and geeky when it comes to marketing, but I enjoy it, so I'm not making any apologies. And in terms of experience, I've been involved in working in marketing since about 2009. So I've been, once again, I've worked with some of the biggest companies in the world. I've worked with, as I mentioned, the number one UK retailer in the UK, and basically, it's I just enjoy it. I've had different experiences. I've worked for myself. I've worked for other companies. I've worked as a contractor. I've worked as, like I say, in various different roles. But most of all, it gives me the experience, and these experiences. This is what I share on the course. So I'm giving you the information, the knowledge, and the experience. But most of all, I'm giving you what it's all about, really, what we aim to achieve, and that's given me the privilege of, obviously, as you can see on the wall on the screen, the UK Digital Growth Awards. I've been a judge with those on a couple of occasions, and it gives me a chance to look at other people's work, comment on it, and judge it. So, like when it comes to decision day and they're going up on their wearing their tuxedos onto the stage and they're winning their awards, I feel quite nice because it feels like I had a hand in that. Even though they produced the work and did great work, I still had the privilege and the pleasure of looking at how good their work was. But that's a little bit about me. But if you want to connect with me, as I mentioned, feel free to go to LinkedIn, and it's just great to learn about people and what your journey looks like. And if I can add value to it, I absolutely will do. So, in terms of methods of learning, ask your questions, and as I mentioned, ask your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them, and I'll personally answer them. And number two, real life examples, past experiences, and demos. As I mentioned earlier, that's what I like to do. I like to give you real life examples that you can relate to and that have actually happened. I'm also going to tell you about my past experiences where I've got things right, where I've got things wrong as well. I'll tell you about my £10,000 mistake at some point during the course. But yeah, I'll tell you about the good things, the bad things, and most of all, I like to do live demos because it's great showing you the slides. But if I can show you the live demo, with sometimes when you're doing something, you come across a little bit of a problem. You think, oh, how do we get around this? And at least if I can show you in real time what I've done, problems I had, or the way I got around things, that's a better learning experience from my uh, from my perspective anyway. I think that's a better learning experience. And as I mentioned, we have the end of module quiz, summary quiz and answers. So as I said, the aim is just to give you a bit of a broad understanding of um, what was covered in the module and how well you understood it. And if you didn't, that's exactly what I'm here for, because in the next module, I'll go through the answers and obviously give you the rationale behind it as well. In terms of my approach, this underpins pretty much everything that I'll be teaching and the overall approach I have. This is what I believe is the best way to learn. So, the first thing I look at is the what. So, what are we going to be studying? So, I'm going to tell you about that. Why? I'm going to also tell you why it's important, because I don't believe in just teaching you something for the sake of it. You need to understand why I'm doing it and how it's going to be taught. So, the what, the why, and the how. And that's my approach to all the modules. I'm almost tempted to ask if everyone has any questions because I'm so used to doing it. But yeah, if you do genuinely have questions, add them onto the message boards and the resources that you have available on the platforms, and you can and I can give you as much assistance as possible. And as I mentioned, the aim is to answer your questions. In terms of progression and support, I mean, I'll read directly from the slide. So as I say on the slide, for me, this is not just about this course and these modules. It goes beyond that. It's about your progression, and I genuinely mean that, and what you go on to achieve in digital marketing, because anything good you do, I believe, is a reflection on me. So if I can be part of your journey or have a slightest of you, even the slightest positive impact on your digital marketing career, I mean, that's what I believe in, and that's what I would like to see. And as I mentioned, after the course, whatever it might be, keep in touch. Let me know how you're getting along. If you're struggling with anything, let me know. The best place to message me is on LinkedIn. I've had people say to me, Kaz, I'm just about to go in an interview and I've just had a bit of brain fog and I can't remember something. And if I'm not in a client meeting, if I'm not teaching, or if I'm not involved in anything, I'll answer to you straight away. If I don't answer to you straight away, I will get back to you at some point. And I suppose, as it says there, with that in mind, if after the course you want further support, we can also help with that. So we can help you specialize in a certain area of digital marketing if that's what you want to do, go on to do, and get advice or the benefit of my knowledge. So as I mentioned, if you want knowledge, advice, more than happy to share that. And if you need to get hands-on practical experience, we can help you with that as well. But once again, this is all for later on in the course, and when we come into the point of completion and basically deciding on what we want to do. Yes, look out for the updates. As I've said before, as time and technology advances, there'll be a need to make updates to the course. So look out for them. Obviously, because you've got access to the course, you will also get access to the updates. If there are any questions in the Q&A that requires a video, as I've mentioned, my aim is to provide that. And once again, real life examples and solutions to real life problems. So that's why I like using these real life examples and these examples that you can maybe relate to or that I've experienced, because case studies, as I mentioned, it doesn't quite have the same ring. Case studies are made up situations sometimes, but with a real life example or real life problems, they are exactly that. They're real life, and you have to, and once you've done something with that, you can talk about how well it didn't go. And once again, just reaffirming that point, they are real life case studies. Well, they are real life. They're not case studies, I should say. It's what 20 years of experience gives me is real life practical experience, and lots of it, which I will be sharing with you at different points during the course, relevant to the different modules, obviously. And that includes, as I mentioned, working as my time as a in the UK's number one retailer, referring to companies I've worked with, because I've worked with the likes of the BBC, provide client examples that went well. So I'll tell you when things went really good and everything was brilliant. I'll also tell you about client examples that went badly because you can't always be perfect. No one's perfect. And yes, the vast majority of time that we get it absolutely right. But sometimes it doesn't go according to plan. And obviously, I'll share those examples with you as well. There's other businesses and organizations that I've been involved with. I'll mention those as they're relevant because I don't want to just reel off names for the sake of it. I don't think that's going to help you. The aim is to kind of tell you when we've done something with this person or that company and how it had a positive effect. And obviously, with some of the examples I'll be using, we'll be talking about companies that you've heard of and can relate to. Because I don't like making up companies. I want to talk about real companies. So at least then you can understand what they're doing. And a lot of what we're going to be talking about, not a lot of what we're going to be talking about, certain elements are going to be talking about how the big companies do the absolute basics right. No matter if they're $1 billion, $1 trillion company, I'll show you how they get the basics right and what they're doing. And, in terms of, how I, like I say, finally, this is, how I went on from gaining marketing knowledge to working and establishing myself in the industry. And I think this is maybe the challenge that some of you guys might have, or if you're thinking, "I want a career in digital marketing," how do we go from having that career or learning to establishing yourself in the industry? Because it's not as simple as do the course, get the best job in the world, and your life is set. You have to plan that journey and say what you're going to do and how you're going to do it.